Here is my highly requested chocolate macaron tutorial. Many people have been asking how to flavor their macaron shells. This is one of the few times that I will actually add flavor to the shells. Usually I just add it to the filling. This is going to be a simplified version of the tutorial that I've already posted. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, I recommend going back and watching that other video. We're going to be using the same ratio of ingredients as the original recipe. The only change we're going to make is the addition of some cocoa powder to the powdered sugar before we sift it. Start by separating your eggs and letting your egg whites come to room temperature. Today I'm using 124 grams of egg whites. Measure out 124 grams of granulated sugar. You can also add about 4 grams of egg white powder, but remember, this is totally optional. When calculating the amount of almond flour, we get 148.8 grams. You can either round up to 149 or you can round down to 148. The difference of 1 gram isn't going to make a huge difference, especially since we will be adding a little bit of extra dry ingredient when we add the cocoa powder. After weighing out 148 grams of powdered sugar, you're going to add 10% of the weight of the egg whites in cocoa powder. In this case, that's about 12 grams. In the past, I would remove 12 grams of my other dry ingredients to compensate for the addition of the cocoa powder, but I found that my shells would turn out weak and a little more fragile. So this is my first time just adding in the cocoa powder without making any other changes to the recipe. If you want to get a darker brown color on your shells, you could try adding black cocoa powder, or you can add some brown food coloring to your meringue. We're whisking up our room temperature egg whites, and once they're frothy, we're adding in the sugar, either a spoonful at a time or half of it and then the other half after mixing for a few minutes. Once we have stiff peaks in our meringue, we can start the process of adding in our dry ingredients. Follow the same steps that I described in my previous tutorial in order to combine your dry ingredients with your meringue. Then deflate the batter until it falls in ribbons off of your spatula. Pipe out the macarons and let them rest until they form a skin. That's when you know they're ready to go in the oven. Where I live, this only takes about 15 minutes, but if you live in a much more humid climate, it can take up to an hour. You should be able to gently touch the top of the macaron with your finger, and none of the batter should stick to your finger. Bake them at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 18 to 20 minutes. I don't recommend using the convection or the fan in the oven. I'm really happy with the way these turned out. The shells are nice and full. There is a slight gap at the top, but you can see that once they're filled and they've matured in the fridge, that gap is completely gone. Pipe in the filling of your choice and sandwich them together. I've already made 2 tutorials about different types of fillings that you can use for macarons. Thank you for watching.